American Horror Story Season 1, Episode 1, the pilot. This is for me, this is the horror genre can be great if it wants to be episode. Meaning that I just did a horror podcast a couple weeks before I saw this, started watching this series, and I kind of wish I watched this series before I did the podcast because I was kind of railing against the horror genre where basically it was like all slasher, especially this generation, and I realized that horror films are not necessarily bad. I don't dislike horror films, except that if they're the ones that insult my intelligence, I dislike. And this is a series that doesn't insult my intelligence. It does have the same horror elements, of course, but the characters are rich and they're not stupid people, and the writing is rich, and basically the whole structure of course it's a cliche of the haunted house and they go into the haunted house, but basically it works because it's just rich in layers and subtext, and it's got a thematic to it too, this is what most of the horror films have been lacking. It's all about like sexual foreplay for me, or like horror foreplay as I call it, where it's like you're kind of wondering what's going on, boom, 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 and then all of a sudden you're waiting for the slash and the blood to occur. But because of the storytelling, it's like Hitchcockian, where you wait like 20 minutes, basically you have the foreplay for 20 minutes, and finally the ejaculation comes, the blood comes in most horror films. But this one is different, and basically I just liked it, and I was hooked, and I wasn't sure I was going to be, but I realized that if you don't insult my intelligence, I'm going to like horror movies, and basically what creepy people are in this kind of realm, in this kind of grounded story, is that the normal people with issues they can't control or resolve, and that's how we know that they're creepy. They're not just creepy because we need a creepy character in a horror scene. They're creepy because there's subtext to it. There's reason for them being creepy. And aren't we all a little bit creepy ourselves? And we can kind of relate to that if there's subtext to it, if there's a reasoning behind it. That's my review of the pilot of American Horror Story.